Hey guys, this is Rahul Helmet and this is my first video. In this video we will be doing the summary of the modern Indian history. Why summary? Because it is very much important to first of all get the structure of the entire, to know about the everything which is what is there in it. It is always advised to read first of all horizontally and then vertically. So we will go in deep later, but now we will be doing it in a summary basis from above. So starting from this, and also I will not be speaking too loudly, so it is recommended that use your earphone, and do and increase your sound to the fullest to get it clear sound. Now the sum. So starting from the chapter 1, I'm using the book Spectrum for the Modern Indian History by Rajiv Ahir. So the name of the first chapter is Sources for the History of Modern India. So what are the sources from where our historians have written this modern Indian history? The sources are archival materials, public archives, private archives, foreign repositories, biographies and memoirs, newspaper and journals, and others. So I will also be giving you some homework, if and that is which is very much helpful to you. For example, now I have told you about private archives, public archives. So you have to search on the Google what is archives, and believe me, it will be beneficial for you to retain the things if you will search by yourself. Some of the some of the meanings, not all of them. So the archival materials consist of public, private and foreign repositories. Public archives include the archives of the Government of India, archives of state government, archives of the 3 presidencies of Bengal, Madras and Bombay, and judicial records. Private archives, papers and documents of individuals and families of note who played a significant role in the development of modern India. Foreign repositories, Indian Office records in London, Record Office Lahore, etc. Biographies and memoirs. Now what is the meaning of memoirs? You have to search. According to travelers, traders, missionaries and civil servants during the 18th and 19th century, as well as memoirs written by Indian leaders during independence movement. Newspaper and journals published in India as well as the abroad. Now others in oral tradition, creative literature, painting, etc. And also what I want to tell you that try to understand in one go, and that too in English. If you feel difficult, try it again and again. Otherwise, at last what I will do is I will just speak it and I will translate it in Hindi also, so that you could understand it quite easily. But as far as this exam demand is concerned, I would like you to tell you that you must understand it in the one go, and that too in English if you have to read it fast. By doing that, you will save your time pretty much. Now the second chapter is major approaches to the history of modern India. What are the approaches to the history of modern India? मॉडर्न इंडिया को लिखने में क्या क्या अप्रोचेस यूज़ हुए हैं इसमें जो लेट्स सी डिफरेंट अप्रोचेस आर colonial approach, nationalist approach, Marxist approach, subaltern approach, communalist approach, Cambridge School, liberal and neoliberal interpretations, and feminist historiography. My videos are more like revision. My videos are more like for the revision purposes. Those who have read, or those who have or those people who want to get some idea before reading the book. So you can see my videos and get some idea that what is going on in this book. So the colonial approach is influenced by the colonial ideology of domination. It focuses on criticism of indigenous society and culture and praises the Western culture and values. James Mill, Vincent Smith, etc. followed this approach. Nationalist approach evolved as a response to and in confrontation with the colonial approach. Before independence, this school dealt with the ancient and medieval period of Indian history and not the modern period. After independence, this school focused on modern India. R.C. Majumdar and Tara Chand belonged to this school. Marxist approach focuses on the primary contradiction between the interest of the colonial masters and the native subjects. It also takes notice of the inner contradiction between the different sections of the Indian society. R.P. Dutt and A.R. Desai were noted Marxist historians of India. Subaltern approach takes the position that the entire tradition of Indian historiography has an elitist bias and the role of the common masses have been neglected. Ranjit Guha belonged to this school. Communalist approach views Hindus and Muslims as permanent hostile groups whose interests are mutually different and antagonistic to each other. Now here you have to search the meaning of antagonistic. Cambridge School. What you have to do is just note down the words which I am telling and you can search it afterwards. Cambridge School envisages Indian nationalism as a product of conflict among the Indians themselves, forgetting the benefits from the British rulers. For them, Indian nationalist leaders were inspired by the greed of power and material benefits. Liberal and neoliberal interpretations imply that the economic exploitation of the colonies was not beneficial to the people of Britain as it delayed the development of new industries in Britain. Let me repeat it. Liberal and neoliberal interpretations imply that the economic exploitation of the colonies was not beneficial to the people of Britain as it delayed the development of new industries in Britain. Feminist historiography focuses on areas of research that analyze colonial structures such as the legal structure which affected women's lives. It also focuses on women's vulnerability due to the denial of ownership of productive resources. So that was the chapter 2. Now the third chapter is Advent of the Europeans in India. Now here comes the Europeans. It's a long chapter. So why a sea route to India? Why they chose the sea route to come to India? Number one, spirit of Renaissance in the 15th century European economy growing rapidly, leading to prosperity and demand for luxury goods. Increase in the supply of meat requiring spices for preservation. Capture of Constantinople in 1453 and Syria and Egypt later by the Ottoman Turks, calling for a new route to reach India without dealing with Arabs and Turks. To avoid them, they chose the sea route. Venice and Genoa too small to stand up to the Turks. Spain and Portugal added with money and men by the North European and by the ships and technical knowledge by the Genoese. The Portuguese, the pioneers, followed by the Dutch, English, Danes and the French respectively to reach India. What I am constantly trying to tell you that try to understand it in the one go. That is how you can improve your memory. You can force your mind to be so concentrated that it could understand the things in one go. I know it's difficult for the few days or few weeks, but there will be a time when you will be able to recall the things or understand the things in the one go. I know it's very tough for you right now, but I think that just keep trying. The Portuguese. Vasco da Gama discovered sea route to India in 1498. Vasco's second visit in 1502 led to the establishment of trading stations at Calicut, Cochin and Cannanore. Francisco de Almeida, 1505-09, first governor, initiated the Blue Water Policy, which is also called Cartage system. You can search what is Cartage system. Alfonso de Albuquerque, 1509-1515, considered to be the founder of the Portuguese power in India. Captured Goa from Bijapur, persecuted Muslims, captured Bhatkal captured Bhatkal from Sri Krishna Dev Rai 1510 of Vijayanagar and initiated the policy of marrying with the natives of India and banned the practice of sati in his area of influence so that he could save their women. Nino di Cunha 1529 to 38 shifted the capital from Cochin to Gaya. Gaya not man. Cochin to Gaya nahi. Cochin to Goa. Shifted the capital from Cochin to Goa in 1530. In his rule, Diu and Daman and Diu wala Diu hai. Diu and Basin came under the Portuguese occupations from Gujarat King Bahadur Shah. Bahadur Shah got killed in 1537 at Diu while negotiating with the Portuguese. मार दिया उन्होंने. Factors for decline of the Portuguese in India. क्यों उनका ये हुआ है, क्यों डिक्लाइन हुआ पोर्तुगीज़ का? एमर्जेंस ऑफ पावरफुल डायनेस्टीज इन इंग्लिश पर्सिया एंड नॉर्थ इंडिया एंड द अपीयरेंस ऑफ द मराठास इन एज नाइबर्स. Political fears aroused by the activities of Jesuit missionaries and hatred of persecution such as Inquisition that caused a reaction against Portuguese spiritual pressure. Rise of the English and Dutch commercial ambitions challenging the Portuguese supremacy, rampant corruption, greed and selfishness along with piracy and clandestine trade practices of the Portuguese administration in India. Diversion of Portuguese colonizing ambitions towards the west due to the discovery of Brazil. ब्राज़ील को कैप्चर करने के चक्कर में इन्होंने फिर इंडिया को ध्यान देना कम कर दिया. देन कम्स द डच. देखो याद करने का सबसे बेस्ट तरीका ये है कि PDEDF, जैसे PDF को फुल कर दो. PDF सुनने में PDF लग रहा है पर ये है नहीं, PDF होता है. PDEDF उसमें क्या होगा, पोर्तुगीज़ डच कौन कब कैसे आया ये ध्यान रखने के लिए. सबसे पहला है पोर्तुगीज़, then Dutch, then English, then Danes, then France. Yes, so this is how I keep it in the memory. PDEDF. The Dutch, the United East India Company of the Netherlands, Verenigde Oost Indisch Compagnie, formed in March 1602 by the Charter of Dutch Parliament, had the power to wage wars, make treaty and build forts. Dutch factories in India: Masulipatam 1605, Pulicat 1610, Surat 1616, Bhimlipatam 1641. Just try to imagine the things. Karikal 1645, Chinsura 1653, Kasim Bazar, which is also called Kasim Bazar, then Baranagore, Patna, Balasore, Nagapattam 1658, Cochin 1663. Decline in India: the defeat of the Dutch in the Anglo-Dutch rivalry and the shifting of Dutch attention towards the Malay archipelago. Battle of Bidara 1759, the English defeated the Dutch. Now comes the English. Factors for foundation: Drake's voyage round the world and English victory over the mighty Spanish Armada leading to great ambitions. Repeat. Factors for foundation: Drake's voyage round the world and English victory over the mighty Spanish Armada leading to great ambitions. You can search here what is Drake's voyage. Drake's voyage मतलब ड्रेक्स ने राउंड ये किया पूरा घुमा वहाँ पे. Formation: English East India Company was formed on December 31st, 1600 by the charter issued by the Queen Elizabeth I, which gave the company monopoly to trade in the East Indies for 15 years. Settlement in India: with Captain Thomas Bay's victory over the Portuguese 1612, the English established their first factory at Surat 1613 में. Then subsequently Sir Thomas Roe secured permission from Jahangir to establish factories at Agra, Ahmedabad and Broach, Broach. Bombay came under the control of the company with Charles II, who received it as a part of the Portuguese dowry, leasing it out to the English company for an annual rent of £10. Madras with the Fort St. George replaced Masulipatam as the English headquarters on the east coast when the former was given by the Chandragiri chief to the east in 1639. The city of Calcutta, even if you feel that okay, you are not understanding the things, just keep on understanding, just keep on trying to understand the sentences which I am saying, just keep on trying to recall or just understand and concentrate on my sentences. Now the city of Calcutta grew from the development of three villages, Sutanuti, Gobindpur and Kalikata, secured from the Mughal governor of Bengal. The fortified settlement was named Fort William 1700 and it became the seat of British power in India till 1911. It is difficult to understand the things when you are reading, but when you are listening you can easily understand because your entire concentration is on the sentences. Right now I am concentrating on reading, then speaking, then and all that. So it may be difficult for me, but for you, you should try to understand it because it is not that tough for you, because you just close your eyes if you think it is difficult, or just don't close your eyes, just imagine in the on the open eyes. बस आँख खोल कर भी तो सोच सकते हैं ना, जैसे आँख खोल कर सोच रहे हैं कि अच्छा ये हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है, आँख खोल कर भी सोच सकते हैं. Farrukh Siyar's Farmans in 1717, the Mughal Emperor Farrukh Siyar's Farman, called Magna Carta, important one of the called Magna Carta of the East India Company, gave significant privileges to the company in Bengal, Gujarat, and Hyderabad. Problems of the company at home. In 1635, a rival company named Cortin Association, later called the Asada Company, formed by Sir William Cortin, was given license to trade by Charles I. In 1657, both the companies merged. In 1698, another rival company emerged. In 1702, the rivalry between the old and the new company came to an end, but their final amalgamation took place in 1708 under the title the United Company of Merchants of England trading to the East Indies, after the arbitration of the Earl of Godolphin. This company ruled in India till 1858. Now comes the French foundation. In 1664, Colbert, a minister of Louis XIV, led the foundation of Campagne des Indes Orientales. Settlement in India. Pondicherry, developed as headquarters, was granted to Francois Martin, the director of Masulipatam factory, by Vallikondapuram governor Sher Khan Lodi in 1673. Finally incorporated into Indian Union in 1954. मतलब we got the Pondicherry in 1954 after 1673. Anglo-French rivalry in India. The Anglo-French rivalry in India coincided with the wars between the English and French in Europe. Causes: for protection and expansion of commercial interest. Political development in the South India and Europe provide pretext to contest their claims, which culminated in three Carnatic wars. First Carnatic War was from 1740 to 1748. That was an extension of the Anglo-French rivalry in Europe and ended in 1748 with the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle, important one. Second Carnatic War from 1749 to 54. Although inconclusive, it undermined the French power in South India vis-a-vis the English. Third Carnatic War, 1758 to 63, a decisive war known for the Battle of Vandivos. Important, 1760 to 1761, an echo of the Anglo-French struggle in Europe. By the Treaty of Paris 1763, the French were allowed to use Indian settlements for commercial purposes only, and fortification of settlements were banned. Causes of the French failure: inadequate military and financial support, France's involvement in Europe, ill-managed policy of Imperial France, lack of commercial incentive to the French company, a sound commercial base of the English company. Now that's all for this chapter 3. Now I think this video is going too long, so I'll put the another video from where I will be continuing chapter 4, and that is India on the eve of on the evening of the British conquest. What happens after the British conquest India? So stay tuned, subscribe it, and follow the story along with me. Thank you. This is Rahul Helmet.